I am Kate, and I'm trying to flip the script from doom scrolling to bloom scrolling, and I'm gonna be presenting you with a couple of good, positive stories every morning, Toronto's morning at least, so that you can infuse some positivity into you. Our scrolls are usually filled with so much of doom and so much of bad news, and I get it, those need to be highlighted because that's the way we can make positive change, but sometimes it gets a bit too much. So, here's me balancing out and refreshing and, letting you know that there are some really good things happening in the world too, and we need to pay some attention to that as well and energize ourselves. So let's go. Our first story this morning comes all the way from Canada. And yep, so I also have the sound box which I am going to use. So just because it's Canada, I'm going to do this. So we've got solar rails. So there's a company called Matrix. I hope I'm saying that right. That is doing some. Let me pull that up. Yeah, that's a picture. Yeah, one moment. Bear with me. There we go. So, solar rails by Matrix's Balcony Innovation, and it's a Canadian company and it's turning balconies into solar panels. So now your railing can both, stop your neighbor from spying as well as charge your phone. Um, and yeah, that's really multitasking and it's joining the rest of us doing that. But I think it's a really cool thing because there's a lot of wasted space that it is typically just glass and looks pretty, but if we can put it to some use, why not? And yep, it's called Solar Rail. Finally, something in your condo that pays you back. Why don't you go and I'll be putting links to all of this later, both on my Instagram channel as well as on LinkedIn. And you can follow me. It's Kate Fernandez on LinkedIn, and I am positively underscore ever after on Instagram. I'll leave a link in the description later. Um, I'm gonna just check up and say hello to everyone who's joined the stream. Thanks so much, Jay, for being here. Um, and now we move on to our next story, which is about. Maybe we can get a drum roll for this. I'm enjoying this too much. Uh, the next one is this device, and I'm going to give you a minute to guess what it is. No, it's not an electric shaver, but that's a good guess. It is. This, my friends, is a needle-free injection bolt jet. So there's a lot of people in the world who are scared of injections, especially kids. And I see that there are like complete reason to be. It's not a pleasant experience. So this company has, taken this pain point rather seriously and come up with a solution. So the fear of needles is about 27%, and that's a big number. And there's a lot of people like not taking vaccines and flu shots just because of that situation. So now there's a gadget called BolJet, and you can get vaccinated with lasers. Yeah, because that is way more comforting than a needle for some. So yeah, so they're using laser technology to heat the fluid and send it straight through your skin, but without an injection. So I guess that changes some things. Does it hurt? I don't know yet. If somebody does, let me know in the chat. We can figure this out. Um, Up next, we have another heartwarming story. I'm not so sure why uh, my screen isn't changing. Oh, I just did figure that out. Give me a minute. Yeah, so that's what the injections device, the bowl jet device looks like, but I guess you didn't see it while I was talking about it, so I apologize for that. Live streaming is new to me and it is intimidating. So, yep, moving on to our next story, we have this one. This is pretty interesting. Um, it's a Philadelphia officer put aside his fear of heights to rescue a little child, and this is just so cute because I have a fear of heights as well, and there are certain other fears which will overpower that for sure. Um, yeah, but so this officer saw a kid on the roof, and he was scared of heights, but he saw a kid on the roof, and he just climbed right up and rescued the little boy. And he's somebody who wouldn't even climb up a step ladder without a spotter. So the moral of the story is fear is temporary, and just forever impressive. So if you are somebody who is scared of something today, just be that day to go and overcome it. And yeah, even the heroes are scared, right? So um the next story, I hope my screen's changing because it doesn't look like it is, and I'm not sure why. Let me figure that out. Hmm. Yeah, maybe we just do this. I Yeah, so we're just gonna go with a full screen because the browser thing that I was trying is clearly not working. Sorry about that. I'm trying. If you know how to fix this, let me know in the comments and I can just like do that. Uh, in the third story for today, we have a ranch dog which rescued a toddler after 7-mile journey in the Arizona desert. That is so scary. If I was a toddler, I don't know if I'd be more scared of. Like, I'm scared of dogs, so I'm not sure if I would really get rescued, but I'm really glad this kid wasn't. Um, More of that story. So, there was this kid who, wandered away from home and he was lost for 16 hours, and the police put out a search and rescue party and 17 people going and like looking for him. And then he just this landowner, this dog's owner, the dog's called Buffard, he just got up and he noticed that this dog is bringing this toddler into the gate and playing with him and keeping him company. And the guy came out and he's like, oh my god, there's a toddler. And he went and he asked and uh, you know called the cops and make sure that the kid was home safe. But it was because of the dog that he got there, and the kid just apparently like didn't walk all through the night. He slept under a tree, and it's crazy. Like anything could have happened, but he's safe now. So yeah, there's good stuff happening in the world. Um, in the next story, like we've got elephants protecting their calves during an earthquake, and so when the ground started shaking in San Diego, the elephants at the zoo formed a protective huddle around their babies. And 4 minutes later, they were like back to normal when they realized that there wasn't really any danger. Uh, yep, which is really sweet because elephants apparently do this. Like if when they sense danger, they form a little circle around their young, and that's so sweet. Um, it seems like they have better families than a lot of the reality TV that we watch today. Um, and our final story before we close is about a young girl who has started this thing with like laundry. So what she does is she's helping college students start strong, one laundry basket at a time. So what she does is, like, she realized that when she went to college, she didn't really have a lot. She was the first person in the family to go to college, and she didn't really have a lot to, start off. And there was a lot of people who came together and chipped in and helped make that possible for her. So she wants to pay it forward, and what she's been doing since 2018 is she creates these beautifully decorated laundry baskets, and she gives them to kids starting out there year in need. And she has a GoFundMe where she raises funds, and she's able to give them all the essentials that they need just when they're starting out for the first time, which is so, so sweet. These are the five stories I have for you today. If there's anything else that you've heard of, or something that you've a story that you've come across, please leave them with me in the comments, and I'd love to talk about them tomorrow. um, I am still trying to figure out how to do my live streaming correctly, and I clearly have not. I'm using OBS, but I have like trouble sharing my screen. I find that it kind of gets stuck quite often, and I'm not really sure what to do about that. So if you have the answers, let me know, and I can make it better. Uh, from me here in Toronto, I'm saying goodbye and saying hello to everyone around, and everyone who joined, and everyone who'll be watching this later. Thank you for coming in and sharing your positivities with us. Um, yeah, I'd like to really know more about small wins and some things that you are interested in every day, and we can discuss some things that are happening in your neighborhood or in your community that is positive, and some positive wins. And if there's a story that you'd like to discuss, please send it. I would love for this to be a two-way thing. Anyway, until tomorrow then, bye bye. Have a good one. This is Kate signing off from Positively Ever After. Bye.